Before the count of millennia, when Lycos was young beneath the golden sun, there stood a city unlike any conceived by later minds. Spires of pearlescent light kissed the sky, a silent civilization, leaving only the perfection of its form to pierce the hum of the tranquil sea. It knew only peace, serenity, and the gentle pulse of its own quiet power. But tranquility is merely the pause between breaths. As twilight painted the heavens in hues of bruise and decay, the sea itself drew back, sighing away from the shore as if in fear. The sea's confident hum faltered, replaced by an unnerving silence, broken only by a rising vibration from the deep, the first tremor of impending doom. The bared seabed wept steam into the cooling air. Night fell, but brought no stars. An immense darkness swallowed the horizon, a living shadow that drank the light. From its heart, a void opened, a wound in reality itself. The vibration intensified, becoming a monstrous, rhythmic pulse, the world holding its breath before the breaking. The air grew thin, cold, expectant. Then came the great inhale. The very atmosphere stretched thin, pulled towards the unseen maw on the horizon. The elegant spires groaned under the impossible pressure drop, shedding crystalline tears that were instantly whipped away. A silent upward gale began, the planet itself gasping before the Titan. And the breath, held for an age, was finally exhaled, not as wind, but as water. From the void rose the wake. The entire sea of Lycos gathered and expelled as a single solid cliff face of ocean, impossibly high, impossibly fast. It advanced, a moving mountain range glowing with the trapped, terrified light of a billion abyssal lives, a turquoise wall of absolute annihilation. The roar was absolute, a sound beyond sound. Even before the water struck, the displaced air hit like a god's hammer, shattering the outer spires into glittering dust. The continent itself buckled under the approaching doom. Impact. The city drowned in an instant, consumed by a churning apocalypse of stone and crushing water. Spires became pebbles, foundations were ripped away, and the city's energy conduits died in silent underwater novas, briefly illuminating the maelstrom. Torn from the land, the heart of the great city began its final journey, sinking, groaning, settling into its new form as a tomb, descending into the crushing blackness of the abyss. The light of the golden sun became a memory, then nothing. Thousands of meters below, the final impact, a tremor that shook the seabed for leagues, carving a new trench in the silt. A cloud of ancient dust bloomed and settled, and then silence. A silence deeper than any known before, broken only by the slow fall of abyssal snow. But the deep does not forget. Over centuries, life returned. Not the life of the builders, but the patient, glowing life of the abyss. Alien corals and soft, luminous flora began to encrust the ruins, tracing the lines of forgotten architecture with veins of soft turquoise and green. The sea reclaimed its own, giving the drowned city a new, unearthly pulse. 10,000 years passed. The ruin became a reef, a beacon in the eternal night. Bizarre glowing creatures swam through shattered archways where silent architects once walked. Colossal leviathans, the true children of the deep, now glide through its boulevards, their own lights pulsing in ancient conversation with the glowing stones. And in the heart of the reclaimed city, within a fallen temple, one final fragment was dislodged by time and tide. A slab of stone, etched with symbols not of hope, but of warning. It settled upon a broken altar, and for a fleeting moment flared with pale light, whispering its only truth to the crushing dark. We were powerless in its wake. Then silt covered it once more, burying the last testament, waiting patiently in the hum of the deep.